Okay, so once again, welcome to the Central Washington 2013 team briefing. We're going to go through what it takes to safely land at Central Washington in Ellensburg for the FRC event. This presentation, I know a lot of you have seen a lot of this presentation before, so we've rearranged things. All of the event-specific details have all been moved to the front. We will not be offended if when we start talking about what happens on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. We're sort of aiming that at folks who have never done this before. We will not be offended if you want to sign off at that point. But do please stick around for what's coming up in the beginning so that you know where to go and how to get there. Okay. The other thing I want to let you know is that the slides are already up there, and we'll be adding some additional notes as we go along tonight. It's on the First WA site in the FRC webinars menu. You'll find Central Washington Regional up there under webinars. So with that, here's what we're going to go over. We want to make sure that you know how to land safely in Ellensburg and to figure out where it is that you're supposed to go. We're going to talk about parking, what to do with buses, where to find food. We're also going to talk about a team social that's available and sort of where the lay of the land is. We're also going to talk very explicitly about how to load in and how to load out. It's really important that you pay attention to this because you can't just sort of show up, and we have explicit times for you to arrive and explicit times for you to depart. After we've gotten through that event-specific information, we'll talk about the various areas. We'll talk about the importance of Thursday, and I'll touch a little bit on qualification rounds and elimination rounds, but most of this talk is going to involve how to arrive, how to leave, and what happens on Thursday. So far, so good. We are going to Central Washington University, which is in lovely Ellensburg, Washington, right smack in the middle of the state. We're specifically going to Nicholson Pavilion. You can see the address up here. I did type that into my GPS, and it appears to give good directions on how to get there. This is a aerial view of the building. This is a pretty big complex. You can see the cars down here. The event is sort of in the left-hand part of the pavilion, and the pits are going to be over here in the right-hand side of the pavilion. I'm going to zoom this picture out just a little bit, and we're going to refer back to this quite a bit. If you are driving, please figure out how long it takes for you to get there using your own GPS program, and I'd add about 15 minutes to that drive. Every time I've driven, it's taken about 15 minutes longer than Google said it was going to. This is a large sort of scaled overview of all of the places that you're likely to be on campus. And we're going to refer back to this exact map a few times, but you can see the field house right here in the center, or Nicholson Pavilion. If you're staying in the on-campus housing, that is these brown roofs over here. There are quite a few of you staying there. The Student Union Recreation Center, also called the CIRC, is this building down here, right smack in the middle. So it's kind of across the street and down Chestnut Mall Road, I guess. And then there are various parking lots around. And we're gonna kind of get a lot more into this here in just a second. So with that, Arthur and I are now going to sort of acquaint you with how to get loaded in. So in general, all of our events are this way, and we would really, really appreciate it if you can arrange to be at Nicholson Pavilion between 6 and 8 p.m. on Wednesday night. Okay, and that's sort of our official load-in time. And so please do whatever you can to be there in those hours. We are going to close down, so you know, don't plan on showing up at 9:30 or 10. You'll be there all by your lonesome. So when you arrive, and again, we're going to be flipping back and forth here. So Arthur, the sort of main drag is Alder, isn't it?
So when you come in on University Way, which is south off the map, you're going to come in from the west, probably going east, and head up Alder Street on the far right side.
Okay, so I'm gonna zoom us all out. I apologize. I know that the zooming is a little bit slow. I have a pretty big screen here. So off of I-90, that's I-90 down here. You're going to come down University Way. And so I'm going to scroll in a little bit. And so so from University Way, they're going to take a left on Alder, do you think?
Yes.
Okay. Left on Alder Street, and then left on Dean Nicholson Boulevard. I assume he must have been a former dean, or was his name actually Dean? Huh. Anyway, so taking a left there, and then you'll be arriving here in front of Nicholson Pavilion. So that makes sense so far? Good?
Yes.
So we have them, this is Q14, right? So you are headed for parking lot Q14, and that's actually the parking lot that's right here in front of Nicholson Pavilion. On Wednesday night, we're going to have a lot of this stuff blocked off. There'll be volunteers out here. If you're just driving like minivans or whatever, pull in and hang a left and come park sort of over here in the on the right half of the building, but go ahead and take yourself a parking stall. If you're bringing a trailer, or if you have a large vehicle that you don't think you can negotiate with, when you enter, you're going to hang a right, and we'll have sort of a corral over here for folks who are bringing trailers and other materials. Please follow the instructions of the folks that are running the load-in area. We really appreciate that. The load-in, the pits are in this right-hand end of the building. There's this little walkway. You can see this this white walkway takes you over to a set of double doors. That is the entrance that you'll be going in. Everything that you're bringing needs to fit in through a couple of double doors. So if you've got something that's much, much bigger than that, you should probably make it a lot smaller. How's that sound? All right. So that's pretty straightforward. I apparently, in my zeal to clean up the slides, I deleted the slide that told you all of the pertinent times, but we wanted you to show up between 6 and 8 p.m. In other words, really we want you there between 6 and about 7:30 p.m. if at all possible, so that we can get you unloaded and into the building. We're going to kind of stop letting people into the building right about 8 o'clock. We're supposed to close it right at 8. We might let you dribble in a little bit later than that, but if you show up much past 8, we're going to make you wait until the next morning. If you are unable to make it, and you are unable to make 8 o'clock, the next time that you'll be able to load in will be 7:45 a.m. And that's when we'll open the pit doors for load in. All right? So we're going to talk more about load in here in a couple of slides, but that's where you're going. Let's talk about parking. I learned a lot about parking today from Arthur. First thing to realize, we have no control over the parking, as in Washington First Robotics has no control over the parking, but the university has been extremely gracious and accommodating for us, so that's really great. Thursday and Friday, parking is going to cost you $5. Permits are required between 8 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. But the nice thing is that one $5 permit gets you for all day, so you can come and go as you please. If you do end up parking in front of Nicholson Pavilion, see this little red arrow over here on the left? There's a kiosk over there. I should have asked, does it take credit cards, Arthur? You know? Oh, whoops, I lost Arthur. There he is. He must have had to reconnect. Hi, Arthur, are you there?
Can you hear me this time?
Yeah, gotcha.
Sorry, my wireless dropped out.
Hey, no worries.
It does take credit cards.
Okay. And you'll be able to, so credit cards is probably the easiest. Cash probably $5 in quarters is a lot of quarters. Okay. So now I'm gonna zip us back to that big map again. So Q14, if you're lucky and you get there early, you'll be able to park right in front of the building. If Q14, when Q14 fills, let's talk about the next closest places to park. Well, first of all, if you're parking in on-campus houses and just walk, it really isn't very far. The next closest parking is over here in N19 and N20, sort of across the street down here. There's plenty of parking over there. You can make good use of that. That does require a parking permit, and there's a kiosk out here in the middle somewhere. You'll find it. If you would prefer to go on the cheap, there are 2 lots available to you that are free to park, but you have to do a little walking. It's not that far. The first one is up here at V7, up here in the left-hand corner. So you go down Nicholson and you hang a right on D Street, and it's up there. And you can see there's a walking path to actually kind of come straight over. The other free parking area is X22, which is up in the far right-hand corner. And again, you can just sort of walk down, save yourself $5, or it may be easier to park there. So I think we've probably beat the parking to death. So those are sort of the main parking areas, and that should be plenty for everybody. Let's talk about trailer parking, because I know some of you are going to bring trailers. X22 is a free parking lot. That's the one up here. If you're bringing a trailer, you can probably park it there overnight. How secure it is, I don't know. You'll probably want to bring a lock for your trailer in case you put anything in there. But try the best you can to use only one spot. So yeah, please don't take up too much. Okay. Our friend Kim Hansen has asked, how much is parking on Saturday? Saturday is free parking, so yay, we only have to pay to park twice. I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, so anyway, X22 trailer parking. We're good with that. Here comes, if you're bringing a bus, bus transportation, we're kind of recommending that you have your act together before you actually arrive with your bus, and you should drop your students off on East Dean Nicholson Boulevard. So there's we won't even call it a parking strip. It's not a horridly busy street because we're in the middle of spring break, but still you are going to be blocking a little bit. So pull your bus all the way down here to one end, get everybody off, get your stuff off, and then let the bus driver take off. The buses aren't allowed to park there for the day. There is bus parking available, and the bus parking, we don't know how many buses are going to come. Since we're sort of in the middle of the state, we're assuming more than normal. So we're anticipating that buses can come up and park up here in lot V as in Victor 7. And that, again, is down the street, hang a right on D Street, and you'll find a parking lot up there. If that fills, you can also come over here to X12. Our guess is that if a bus was parked there, they may or may not ask you to get the $5 permit. Did we find out an answer to that, Martha? And Arthur's
Sorry, there was no one there by the time I called today.
Okay. Yeah, so we'll know a little bit more. My guess is that they probably wouldn't pester a school bus. They're probably more interested in pestering cars. So, but you might not want to take the chance and just pay the $5. If X12 fills, which I doubt that both of those will, X22 is also an option. There's also there is some other parking out and about. Bus drivers are pretty good about figuring that out on their own. Okay. Any questions about bus parking that I can answer or we can answer? All right. Moving right along. Oh, let's see, bus parking, sorry, I'm clicking on stuff. On-campus housing, there is some on-campus housing still available. As of Friday, they still had about 80 rooms. And Arthur, correct me if I'm wrong, the rooms will hold, what, 2 students or 1 student? Or how does that work?
They have single rooms and they have double rooms. We started with over 300, so we've used quite a few of them.
Okay. If you are interested in taking advantage of that, there is a form on our website. Let me bring it up. Oh, here it is. If you go down to hang on a sec, sorry. Just take 1 sec. If you go down here to webinars, FRC, webinars, here's the Central Washington team briefing. Click on here. There is a document here about on-campus housing. I'll let you peruse that on your own. So take a look at that and see if this is an option for you. It seems like a pretty good deal to us, but we'll let you figure out whether that would work for your team or not. Okay? There we go. So that's on-campus housing. Let's talk about food. There is a concession stand available. It's actually in the pavilion, right, Arthur?
Correct.
And they were going to serve what? Do you remember?
It would be more like pretzels, nachos. Then they'll also have a couple of stands where they're going to have like candy, beverage.
So basic snacky stuff. I think we may have lost Arthur's audio again. Okay, so what I know is that there will be the basic sort of concession snacky foods available. There are also box lunches available. There is again on that webpage I just showed you on www.firstwa.org. Go to FRC webinars, Central Washington team briefing. There it is again. Okay. So on here is a box lunch order form. You should probably get those filled out. I believe the deadline may be on Friday or Monday. I can't remember which. I apologize for not knowing off the top of my head. Okay. So that's where you can order some food. In addition, for the first time, the university has tried this. They're allowing some outside vendors to show up and serve food. The exact setup of that, we're not 100% sure of how that works, but there will be some other food out there. The Student Union Building, or the CIRC, as it's known, which is this building right here, also has a fairly large cafeteria, sort of food court looking thing, and so some of that will be open. It is spring break. A lot of their restaurants and stuff will be on light schedules. So can you bring your own food? Now that Arthur is offline, his recommendation to me was we're probably not going to check. So if you did want to bring your own food into the arena, you probably will get away with it, but we're not telling you that you can, but we're just sort of hinting that Oh, David just looked. The order form says Wednesday, March 13th at 5 p.m. Thank you, David. So if you are going to use the box lunch form, you'll need to do that by Wednesday. Okay? All right. And please, please, please clean up after yourself. We're going to have a lot of people there for multiple days, and the place turns into a pigsty pretty quickly if you don't. Matt has asked, those of us staying on campus have meals provided, right? And I'm saying yes, asterisk, check with what package you ended up buying. I think they may have options for not food. So I'll let you deal with the on-campus housing people directly for that. Okay. Other event-specific details are there is a team social. Ellensburg is a lovely place that is pretty quiet on a Friday night, especially when the college students are gone. So there isn't a whole lot of extracurricular activities for your students. So the Student Union Recreation Center, the CIRC, has graciously opened up their doors. This is free to everybody, but we do need you to sign up and let us know that you're coming. So it looks like a really nice facility. Well, it is a nice facility. I've actually been in it. And if you go looking on, hang on a sec, I'll take you there now. If you look on our website on Team Social RSVP, you can see a list of what's going on. You can see it. This is like it's a really nice building. It's a fairly new building inside. They're going to have basketball, dodgeball, volleyball, that sort of stuff available if kids want to play that. And they're also going to be, this is called The Pit, and there's going to be a movie being shown there. All of this is actually free. I believe the food is not free, but all of the activities will be free. There is a caveat. If the students are going to be doing the basketball, doing any of the activities, there is a waiver form. You know, permission slips are awesome. So there is a waiver form that we need you to have everybody have a guardian sign and show up with. Okay. On this page, FRC, team information, team social RSVP is where you're going to tell us that you're coming. We just need one for your team. Tell us who you are, your email address, your mobile phone number, and we need your team number, the number of students, and the number of mentors you think will be attending. We're not going to hold you to it. Obviously, it's a free event. However, if you could let us know, we can make sure that we have enough facilities for everybody. All right. So thank you so much to Central Washington University and their Recreation Center for setting this up. The event starts at 6:30. It'll go until just slightly after 9 o'clock. We're trying to, the movie was slated to start at 7. I'm trying to get them to push that forward a few minutes. So exact precise timing on this may change slightly, but that's sort of the idea. Something for the kids to do. Okay. Glenn is pointing out that during the FLL state competition, the cafeteria was $11 for all you could eat for each visit. Will it be the same deal? I honestly don't know. Unfortunately, we lost Arthur, who is our organizer. Michael, do you know anything about that? About the food pricing or anything like that for the?
All I know is that they're going to be operated under a limited menu without the full service. So I don't know whether they're offering the $11 all you can eat.
Yeah, let me go out on a limb and say probably not. Okay, that's Friday night. It's usually it'll be a fun event. Do please sign up as soon as you can. And again, there's a link to that on the webinars page. Okay. So in general, the sort of schedule for this entire event, so Wednesday night is robot and pit area deliveries. Now, when we'll be talking about load-in here in more details. Thursday is all about team arrivals and inspections. Friday is when the game starts. It'll be Friday morning. Saturday, the game continues, and then Saturday afternoon, we're done. Key things to keep in mind, Saturday evening, you need to completely vacate the building. You will be unable to come back in on Sunday morning and pick up anything. So you're making provisions for that. So I'll put that out right away. Load in. So load in is from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. And then Thursday, if you are unable to make it, from 7:45 to 8:30 a.m. Okay. If you know off the top of your head that there's no possible way that you're going to make it on Wednesday by 8 p.m., we would appreciate it if you could send me an email, kevinro@firstwa.org. Send me an email and just let me know, just tell us, hey, we're probably not going to show up until Thursday morning, and that just that way we don't worry about you. We'll look forward to seeing you. Okay. Terry is asking, they're driving in from Vancouver on Wednesday night. Can you have somebody's phone number? Sure. You can have my phone number. How's that? I'm going to type it into the chat box. There's my phone number. Honestly, if you just sent me a text and said that, Team 2571 is going to be late, or 2471 or whatever, that's all you need to do. Sometimes my phone doesn't work in that building. So, all right. What you're doing during this load-in process, step one, you have to have safety glasses with you. So please make sure that you've left your safety glasses outside of the crate and bring them with you, okay? We're expecting to see 5 people total from each team, okay? Don't bring your entire team. We do not have facilities for them. That isn't what this is for. Your goal is to bring your stuff in. You're going to set it all in your pits, and then you're going to turn around and leave. Now, you can park in the loading area while you're unloading. We don't want you to like park there and go inside for a couple hours. That isn't the idea. So especially if you're bringing in a trailer, please come in, drop your stuff off, and then leave. You really need a cart, and we highly recommend that you bring a cart with at least 3-inch diameter wheels. My carts always have 5-inch diameter wheels. The cable protection bumps are 2 inches in height. If you don't have at least a 3-inch wheel, you're not going to make it over that. Okay. And then the first stop that you're going to make is with our friend Alita. Hi, Alita. How are you?
I'm doing good.
So, what's the load-in inspection process going to look like?
So you're going to bring your robot in with the minimum number of people, like you said before, and we're basically going to inspect your bag. You will need to bring in your lockup form. So when you locked your robot up, you got your lockup form all signed and everything, right? You definitely need to bring that. It will be big problems if you don't. So try not to leave it with somebody who's in a car that got lost. Try not to, if it's in the robot, that's going to be a problem, but we'll get it worked out. And basically the inspector's going to look over your bag, going to look over your form, and if everything's good, then we'll say, go ahead in and drop off your robot. No touching the robot, no unbagging anything, no setting up anything in the pits, but dropping that off. If there is a problem, you're going to be told that you can't open your bag first thing in the morning, and then we have some non-compliance forms and everything that we can go over. But I'm sure everybody's will be fine, so we don't have to worry about that. Very cool. And then on the way in, how much extra stuff in terms of prefabricated parts can they bring? You can bring 30 pounds, so be ready to weigh it and have that stuff out and separate. If you have to go digging for that, then you're going to hold everybody up, so please don't do that. Okay. And of course, I know about probably a good 10 or 15% of the teams did what I will call an incredibly rational thing to do, which was to put the lockup form in the bag with the robot. So we've already got a couple of questions on this. So when that happens, show up and we'll deal with it then. You're not alone. Don't worry about it. You're good, Rick. Okay. Yeah, and if you can pass out my email to people who have questions. If you have any questions like something got locked up late or something like that is in the bag, then you can email me and we can figure that out going in. Honesty is the best policy in these things. So we're not here to go, oh my God, you can't do that. We want to work with you and we want you to play. So just let us know what happened and we'll figure out a way to work it out. So I am going to give them your Gmail account. Is that right? Yeah, that's good. Okay. Robot inspector is alita.m.mendez@gmail.com. Okay.
So Alita, who is our lead robot inspector, her email is now in the notes section of that page I was showing you earlier. Okay. Yes, Matt, we will have a scale set up for weighing the 30 pounds of stuff. Remember, please do yourself a huge favor. Read the rules about what you can and can't bring in with you. Life will go much easier, and yeah, I think it's rule R21 and related rules. So please read and understand that and follow those, and you'll be in pretty good shape. Okay. All right. And then so on the way in the door, we're going to check your bag. We're going to look for stuff that you've weighed in. If there will be a line forming to talk to the robot inspectors, and so if you're just bringing in pit stuff, or if you've got some of your team got the robot and some of the team has like your pit decorations do not need to sit in line to talk to the robot inspectors. We will be watching, so don't start taking robot parts in with you. But if you're just bringing in pit decorations, go ahead and take those straight over to your assigned pit area. Okay. I'm going to show you. In case you're wondering, this is sort of what it looks like. We have not. This is not 100% accurate. There have been some changes made to this, but just to give you a feel for what it looks like on the inside, there's a double door here. This is the double door you'll be entering, and when you come in, the pits are sort of set up like this. We haven't signed everything off. Thank you very much, Alita, for coming by and chatting with us. Alita's got to take off. So the inspectors will be,
everybody.
Okay. The inspectors will be kind of hanging out by this door, watching what's coming in. And then you're going to take your stuff over to your pits. When you get to your pits, you're going to drop your stuff. You're not going to set up your pits. You're not going to set up your pit displays. All of that needs to be done later. You're really there just to carry things in, set it down within the confines of your 10 by 10 space, make sure everything is safe, and then you're going to turn around and leave. Sound good? All right. Hang on a sec. I'm guessing that is Arthur has probably just texted me. No, that's Darren. Okay, well.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Arthur. I'm on the phone, but I lost my internet connection. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. Well, I'm glad that you got on. Okay, thanks. Sorry about your internet. Okay. So on to the next slide, and then we're going to let the people who've done this before skedaddle. Let's see. I think I'm on this one. There we go. Loadout is pretty much the inverse. So what we're going to do is loadout's going to get tricky, a little bit trickier, because load in Wednesday night, there's going to be very, very few cars in the parking lot. Okay, load out, probably going to be a little bit more complicated. What our plan is we're going to cordon off this right-hand part of the parking area, Q14, on Saturday morning. Nobody will be parked here. Okay. So when it comes time to load out, and when your team is all packed up, all ready to go, you're ready to actually physically load your car, that is the point where you send somebody out to get your vehicle, and you're going to bring it in here, and the driver must stay with the vehicle during loadout. We don't want you parking there, going in there and watching. Okay, this is all strictly for loadout. Okay, so you'll be able to bring your trailer and or your car, and we'll have a nice little system there set up for you. All right. So when you load out during the elimination rounds on Saturday is fine. And in fact, if you're done, that's a lot of teams do that. They'll send about 3/4 of the crew off to kind of watch the game and enjoy, and some of the stalwart and dedicated people will go back and pack up the pits. Okay, we normally end up closing the pits for the final rounds, for the final 3 rounds, and then we'll probably close the pits during award ceremonies or close the loadout area. Okay, so yeah, do stuff early, go in, watch, have fun, and then do stuff after the award ceremony. We don't want you loading out during the award ceremony, mostly because if your team wins an award, we want you to be in the building. Okay, sound good? What are the dimensions of the table provided for each team in the pit? Arthur, do you know? We're using rental tables, right?
So originally, I don't think a lot of the teams didn't have tables in the pits. They have their own. So the regular conference size tables, I believe, are 30 by 60.
Okay, so it's standard 30 by 60, so it's like a 5-foot conference table. It's not very big. Okay. Oh, and Chris has asked that the Thursday morning load-in is going to be the same, Chris. Are you asking about the parking? Yeah, okay. So he's asking Thursday morning, it'll be the same sort of blocked off parking area just in the morning. And then at probably about 8:30, we're going to open that parking lot up. Okay. The pit size is 10 foot by 10 foot. So I'm reading questions, by the way. There's a bunch of questions coming in. Yes, it is correct. There's just setup, no setup, just drop and go, even on Thursday morning. On Thursday morning, you're going to go in, do the inspection system. You're going to put all your stuff in your pits, and then you're going to turn around and walk out. And you're going to be coming back in a few minutes. Okay? All right. How many electrical circuits provided to each pit? We plan to give you an outlet. Bring your own power strip. Try not to draw more than 10 amps. The pits are being run on a generator. We have a fairly good-sized generator, and we don't expect there to be a problem. But if you're planning on charging like 24 batteries all at the same time, you're going to run into power problems. So the standard first setup is a single 10-amp service. You can probably get away with more than 10 amps for a little bit of time, but plan on 10. Dimensions, let's see, we got that. Okay, I think I've caught up on all the questions. Okay. We're now going to start talking about what's going to actually happen at the event. If you are a multi-year veteran and you want to take off now, you're more than welcome to. Otherwise, you're also more than welcome to stay. So,
Kevin,
yeah?
did you have a chance, sorry I missed 10 minutes of it, did you have a chance to talk about the team social forums and the other web forums that were on the CWU page?
Oh, you know what? Yeah, I talked about the team social. I neglected to get the slide in for. Okay, so don't leave yet, guys. What we're asking, we have one other request that's rather new for us. We're trying to be organized this year. On our website, you will find. Hang on a sec. There we go. On our website, under FRC team information, we have a new form called On-Call Volunteers. Here's the deal. A lot of times we end up needing a volunteer for, say, 20, 30 minutes. What they've been doing in Oregon, which has been working really well, is we're requesting that each team have an adult mentor or an adult supervisor or adult chaperone or some adult that wouldn't mind acting as an on-call volunteer. And they may end up doing something for a few minutes. They might end up doing something for an hour or two. We're not looking to grab somebody to like spend the next 3 days doing a specific task, but we have a lot of, all of a sudden we need more people to control traffic or fill in for somebody who's not feeling well or needs to go do something else. So it'd be awesome if you would be able to provide us with at least one adult team member that would be willing to give us their cell phone. There's a strong chance that they'll never get a phone call, but there is always a chance that we may need somebody, and we'd appreciate your doing that. So FRC under team information, on-call volunteers. It's also in the webinar notes. Just first name, last name, a mobile phone number. Pick which event you're signing up for, and let us know your team number. That's really all we need, and we'll hopefully we won't need anybody, but if we do, we sure would appreciate having a list of folks we could call. All right.
If the waiver forms on the team social.
Yep, we hit that.
Thank you.
Yep. So yeah, we hit that. We're talking about this form. Michael is saying we've already arranged a volunteer to help out with the repair shop. Thank you, Michael. If you've already got your people volunteering, we'll let you off the hook. Okay.
There was also the box lunch form for those that wanted to pre-order lunches up until the 13th.
Yes, we talked about that as well.
Thank you. Sorry.
Yep, and I don't know if you saw it, but there's a notes section under webinars. It's got a copy of these and the box order lunch form, on-campus housing, and all the rest of that stuff. Okay. All right. Let's go back to Thursday. I'm trying to show you. Oh, I have to minimize this. There we go. Okay. Thursday. So if you have never done this before, you have a long day on Thursday. We're going to go through a much more detail what the schedule looks like, but I want to start with this basic overview. Thursday is also known as final build day. If you're anything like my team is actually downstairs, and I'm at home. They're in my shop working on their shooter because they got their 30 pounds. So they're working hard on that. So really, honestly, they will be putting the shooter on right there at the last minute. Thursday is a long, busy day for everybody. And if you can prepare and be ready and be organized, that's really the key to making this a very successful day for you and your students. There's a lot to be done, especially for the rookie teams. You've never done this before. You have to pass inspection. You have to get a lot of things done. Maybe there's a lot of little details that you never quite got around to finishing. All of that happens on Thursday. Asking for help in general is really a good thing to do. And don't be bashful. The way that we're going to arrange you in the pits, all the rookie teams will be surrounded. If you look right across the hallway, you'll find a whole bunch of lower numbered teams. They have all done this before and probably are there ready to help. And they know that they're going to be asked to help. So don't be bashful. It's a badge of honor to do that. Okay? So, but again, the primary goal for Thursday is for your robot to pass inspection. So that is really the purpose of Thursday. Everything else is just there. And I apparently have a wagon full of puppies. Okay. Nice. I don't know where that came from. Okay. Anyway, Thursday morning at exactly 8:30 a.m., we will open the pit area for everyone. We will not let you in before 8:30. So you have to wait for us to tell you that you may enter. Okay. You must have safety glasses on your face. That's really important. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming in. People are carrying long, skinny things. I've gotten poked in the eye myself in the past. You just got to have the safety glasses on. They are absolutely mandatory. Please bring your own safety glasses. There's going to be several thousand people in the room. We can't provide everybody safety glasses. That is your responsibility. Okay. There is no elevator here at this event. That is from the Seattle slide deck. So yay. But please be very mindful if your team is carrying long stuff, like for example the 10-foot long PVC pipes that are your pit. We want somebody on both ends. Okay. Don't let one person carry it because they're going to stop to ask a question and they will turn and they'll smack about 10 people in the head. We see it every year that happens. So please be very careful and very safe about getting into the building. It will be a rush to get in. and we understand that it will be a rush to get in. We will meter the flow the best we can, but anything you can do to help us do this safely, we'd appreciate it. Matt is asking, we have to bring 10-foot PVC pipes with a question mark? No, actually, but some of the pit areas, they do bring in stuff. A different topic, we'll get to that one a little bit later. Okay. Team registration is one of the first things that we need you to do. So when you've entered the pit area, we need your lead mentor to visit the pit admin desk right at 8:30. We need to have the printed roster form from Tim's with any handwritten forms, consent forms. Remember that everybody on your team is required to fill in a consent form. Okay, so mentors and students. A lot of that's hopefully you figured out STIMS, the Student Team Information Management System. That is your electronic golden ticket to all of our events for the year. If you don't have that, we do need you to bring a paper one. Okay. All right. What to bring with you on Thursday? Oh, I can hear somebody. Somebody put me on. Did you put me on speaker, Arthur?
Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. If mentor is not coming, teacher is okay to visit at the pit admin desk. Todd's asked. Okay, so Todd, we want your quote unquote most senior leader to show up with and register at pit admin. Does that make sense to you? Teacher is fine. Whoever's in charge. Okay. Who do you want to bring on Thursday? This is sort of up to you. Now, most of us are traveling to Ellensburg, so my guess is that Thursday is going to be a pretty full day because I think a lot of us are probably just going to bring everybody that's going to come. Thursday is a long day. Thursday is a day of getting the robot to pass inspection, changing things, practice rounds. If you bring all 40 of your students, they'll have a great time walking through, talking to other students and such. It isn't a real high activity day for a lot of students. So please take that into consideration. If you've got some high maintenance students, you'll need to make sure that they've got either activities or supervision because unsupervised ADD can be dangerous. So a lot of teams will bring sort of the core building group, the core building mentors, and then they may put off the rest of the students until Thursday night and bring the entire team Friday and Saturday. That's a very, very legitimate thing to do. Again, there are no requirements other than we need you to be there with enough people that can get your robot to pass inspection and play a couple of practice rounds. Okay. If you're trying to invite people to come watch, Thursday is not a spectator day. It'll be one of the driest days of the 3 days. So if you're inviting folks, they want to come on Friday and Saturday. Okay. The doors open at 8:30 a.m. on Thursday. All right. That was an answer of a question. Veteran teams, do us a favor. Bring spare parts and bumper materials. Somebody's going to have a problem with their bumpers, and it's really sad when there isn't enough bumper material around. Somebody's going to have to make their bumpers bigger, I guarantee it. And so if you've got extra stuff, you know the drill. And then anything that you might think could be potentially useful, even if you just leave it out in the car or something. If you've got extra controllers or motor controllers or the common sort of AndyMark sort of stuff that you'd be willing to loan folks, we'd really appreciate it. And also, there's going to be a lot of teams. We have a lot of rookie teams this year. There's going to be a lot of need for programming help. This is the first event in our state. A lot of teams actually did go down and play last week in Portland, but this is sort of our first shot and so please be ready to help out. Gracious and professional. Okay. All right, everybody. So things that we know from previous years, you really want to keep your laptop on a charger at all the times. The batteries in the Classmates are notoriously unreliable, and the power meter is also notoriously unreliable. So you'll want to deal with that. Keep the large batteries on the chargers at all times if you can. Those chargers, some of them lie. It should take several hours for a big lead acid battery to charge. We've seen some of the chargers come back and say, oh, I've charged in like 30 minutes. It did not happen. If you had a dead battery and it says that it's charged, it's lying to you. So be really suspicious about that. And if your robot's battery meter is constantly showing below like 10.5 volts, you are on a low battery. They do dip down a little bit lower than that when you're accelerating, but the reality is that anything below about 10.5 volts, you're asking for trouble. Okay. Thursday is going to be helped along by some of our key volunteers, and I just want you to know we are blessed in the state of Washington. We have easily some of the best volunteers in the country. We have people that do this 4 or 5, 6 times a year, plus they go and volunteer at World Championships as well. So we have a really, really great set of people. There are a few that you're going to interact with on Thursday, and so let me make sure that you understand sort of how things work. Rule number 1, if you have a question about the game, you need to ask a referee. So if you have a question about the rules, about how to play the game, how the game is scored, what you can and can't do while you're driving around on the field, you have to ask a referee. Nobody else is authorized to give you an answer. Now, you can ask the teams around you and get their opinions and stuff, but if you end up doing what they tell you and they were wrong, we can't help you. Only rulings come from referees. Robot technical questions, your first line of defense are the inspectors. We have a ton of inspectors. They're all experienced mentors. They know what they're doing. They can help you a lot, and if they can't help you, they can find somebody who can. So if you've got all of that, needs to go to inspectors, okay? And then we have field supervisors, and their job is to sort of take care of everything around the field, and they'll help you get on and off the field. Please follow the directions. These are outstanding, wonderful volunteers, and you're really going to like them. Our field supervisors this time are Ron Baker, who he's been doing this with us for quite a while. He's really a great guy. You're going to really like him. Pat Severson is also going to be with Ron, and they're a dynamic duo. You're going to enjoy them a great deal. The other key people that you're going to end up running into are Paul Roush is our machine shop lead, and he's he will be helping to set up the machine shop on Thursday. And he's also a great guy. He's been a mentor as long as I have. We started on Team 360 in 1999, so he's been doing this a long time. He's also going to be a judge and an FTA, so he'll be wearing many, many hats, but these guys will really be able to help you out. Okay? We have an on-site machine shop. The purpose of this machine shop is to help you fabricate replacement parts. It is a small machine shop. It has a small mill, it has a small lathe, and a bunch of other various tools. You are welcome to come make use of it. There's a line for it and procedure for it. So please keep in mind that the machine shop, we don't loan tools, so please don't walk up to the machines and use them. It becomes chaos, okay? So you'll need to be able to explain to the volunteer machinists what it is that you need done. There are limits to what they can do for you. If you've given them a 9-hour job, they're going to turn you down. So keep that in mind. There's also limitations to the machines that we have on site. Okay, we do have a TIG welder. If you've welded aluminum or if you've broken a piece of aluminum and want to try and weld it back together, we have that available for you. Okay, and remember, the machine shop will not loan you a tool. They just won't. So don't even bother asking. You'll be disappointed. Okay. So there we go. Now let's talk about the inspection process. Like I said, I'm whizzing through this, but the other thing that happens Thursday is called inspections, and this is critical that you get this done. The line opens up at 8:30 a.m. If you are smart, you will be the first one in line to sign up. There are 4 steps. We're going to check the size and weight of your robot over at the inspection station. We're going to check your control system at the Control System Advisor Station, which is also over by inspection. And then we're going to schedule a physical robot inspection. That'll happen at your pits. Usually those don't really get going until about 10 a.m. because we try and get everybody through the size and weight and control stuff. But hey, they may show up early. You never know. Okay. And then the 4th and really important part is at some point on Thursday, we will get your robot over to the field to make sure that you can connect to our field controller. You really, really want all of this stuff to happen, okay? Now, the inspectors have all been there. They've all done it before. They are your friend. They are actually here to help. We have a motto with our inspectors, no robot left behind. They will do whatever they can in their power to make sure that you pass inspection. So this is not like, this is not going and seeing a bureaucrat. This is going and getting help from some people who are really knowledgeable about what's going on, okay? So do not fear the inspectors. Do not fear that something is out of whack, that you really want to get this done early, okay? So to start, you can enter that size weight line at any time after 8:30 a.m. After you've done that, stop at the Control System Advisor desk. They'll check your software to make sure that you're running the correct code. They will be able to ensure that the firmware that you're running on your system is going to work with our field control system. And then after you've done that, you can sign up for your in-pit inspection. Okay? If you've never done this before, even if you have done this before, it is really rare for a robot to pass inspection the first time. It will take several iterations. It's completely normal, and just live with it, okay? So please, please, please get yourself inspected early. It's really important that you do that. Some of the things that you may need to change will take time to fix, so you don't want to try and do that late in the day. You want to find out if you've got problems early, okay? All teams will have to connect to the field as part of inspection. It's just mandatory. That's how it goes. Actually, I'm not sure about the bill of materials. Do we have, let's see, do we have an inspector? Who do we got? If there's an inspector here, let me know on that one. Do they still need to bring the bill of materials on the USB key? I don't think so. Okay. Now, the key thing is you must pass inspection to earn qualifying points on Friday. So if you don't, you're not earning points. So even if your robot isn't working yet, if you pass inspection, even though your robot doesn't function, you can send your human player out and you will be able to earn qualifying points. Okay. That's a real key point, because you may turn out you show up Friday, you might miss the first couple of rounds because your robot just functionally does not work properly. However, if it did pass inspection, your human player can go out and you can still you could still end up winning all of your rounds. It does happen. Okay. A thing called WPA key assignment. What this means is that you need to take your robot's radio over and get it programmed at a self-service station. It's really easy to do, but that does need to get done on Thursday. Okay. So I know I'm whizzing through this. The slides will be available in case you think I'm going too fast. The last step is connecting to the field. There are a couple of ways to do that. If you run a practice match during the day, so you go out on the field and you run and you connect, that takes care of it. Okay, our computer system will remember that we saw you, and life will be good. Okay, if you're unable to make your practice match, and you're scheduled, by the way, 3 practice matches, and so we've reserved 3 spots for you. If you're unable to make one of them, then we're going to we're going to ask you first to bring your robot out to the field for about 5 or 10 minutes. we don't care what state it's in. We've actually literally had robots come out like in 4 or 5 pieces and connect to the field and then get sent back, right? We just need it to connect to the field. It is mandatory, okay? The reason for this is that on Friday morning, if there's some reason you can't connect, we would really like to solve that on Thursday rather than Friday morning. That's the deal, okay? If you have not done it by 2 o'clock, you're going to start seeing me or Arthur or the inspectors are going to start pestering you about going out and connecting to the field. At 5 o'clock, we will literally come hold your hand and walk you down and get you to connect to the field. Okay, belabored to death. Practice rounds. They're going to start at 10 a.m. Every team has 3 practice rounds. They are scheduled and they'll run till 5 p.m. You do not have to pass inspection to run a practice match. So if your robot has not passed inspection yet, but it is operational and you'd like to go have a crack at it, feel free to. Go ahead. It's really common that teams aren't ready for this, for their practice rounds. And so if you are ready, you could actually go stand in line, and a lot of teams won't show up. And so you could actually stand out there in the arena and practice all day long if you would like. We have a first come, first serve basis to take an unpracticed or to take an unscheduled round. However, if we may give priority, even though it's first come, first serve, we may give priority to a team who is coming out to connect to the field, okay? All right. Be gracious and professional. And I know I'm belaboring this, but I'm going to do it one more time. If you have not passed and started your inspection by 3 p.m. on Thursday, you've made a huge mistake. We will probably have come pestered you by then, but really, 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 we want you to get started, okay? The inspectors are there to help. They will help you pass your inspection. That is their goal in life. All right. The end of Thursday, the pits are going to start closing at 7:45 on Thursday. We actually need you to be physically out of the building at 8 o'clock. The building is closed at 8. The volunteers have been there since like 6:30 a.m. We will actually physically escort you out of the building. It is a very, very hard deadline. So, and you'll hear my shining voice multiple times reminding you of all of this. So there you go. JT is asking, will there be a temporary practice field and will it include a pyramid? So yes, we will have a practice field, and again, the exact location of it is to be determined, but there is a practice field with a practice pyramid. I don't know, I have not seen the practice pyramid. I believe it's a real pyramid, but I don't know that for a fact. However, it will be out in the pit area. There will be a line for it. We will have some way of dealing with that. Will the practice field be open after the scheduled practices? No. The official field starting at 5 o'clock, we will not allow you out there. We need to get the field ready for the show in the morning, and we oftentimes have to make minor repairs to the thing. So no, you won't be able to go out on the main field. Okay.
The pyramids are real.
The pyramids are real, aren't they? Yes, I thought they were. Okay, so real live pyramids. What's the time limit on the practice field? We usually give you about 5 minutes in case, but if nobody else is waiting. 15 minutes if, yeah, you know, it depends on how long the line is the real answer to the question. If we gave all 50 teams 15 minutes, that would consume the entire day, right? So, and it's possible that you will be sharing the practice field with others. We'll try and get as many people out there as we can. But yeah, you shouldn't plan on parking yourself out there. David, our friend David is going to, our friend David, hi David, I'm unmuting you. How are you?
Good. Yourself and everyone?
I am well, yeah. Everybody can hear you. What did you want to say?
One of the things we observed in Portland, it's kind of important about that practice field in the pits, is some of these robots are shooting frisbees out very quickly. It's really important that only the people directly working on the robot are on the practice field. We had some issues with trying to basically crowd control of everyone standing around the robot watching it, and even though maybe your robot might not be shooting, there might be a robot next to you that is shooting. So really would appreciate your help in making sure that we keep observers out of the practice field area. Thanks.
Hey, Michael, this is probably an inappropriate place to bring this up. Maybe we should look into moving this practice field over up to this upper left corner so people can shoot into a corner rather than shooting at the machine shop, or something along those lines. Or maybe we'll have them shoot in. No, that's the in-outdoor. You know what? You and I'll talk about that later. Okay.
Okay. I watched it in Portland, so I've got a pretty good sense of it.
Okay. Practice field in the pit area will be open after 5, right? Yes, it will be. The practice field will be open until 7:45, and it will close down, as in we will boot everybody off at 7:45. JT is asking, will the practice field have a vision targets tape? I believe they do. David, do you? I didn't see the field. Did you see the retroreflective tape on the practice field?
Unfortunately, the one in Portland did not have the targets on it. We apologize for that. I leave it to Arthur. I don't know, or whoever's doing the field setup. Perhaps we can track down some reflective tape and make sure that we have that in place.
Okay. So JT, no, unless you bring some. And actually, if you guys have extra tape, even if you just have like a 1-foot chunk or something, throw it in your box of stuff that you're bringing with us, and we'll see what we can do about gathering up enough of that tape to actually tape one off. The practice fields don't get a whole lot of love out of New Hampshire, and they're just plywood. It's not a real field. It's a plywood mock-up. It's the team practice field. So they build a bunch of them, and the state of them is sometimes questionable. Okay. Rick is asking, is the practice area going to be in separate areas, as in we'll have an area for the pyramid and an area for the scoring? I think we'll probably attempt to do that. I will, in fact, we'll make a point of that, because I know there will be a lot of teams focusing on climbing and a lot of teams focusing on shooting. So we will do our best.
Do you know if Adrian is bringing her pyramid from bare metal?
You know what? Adrian works for me, so yes.
Yeah, because we used their pyramid as a relative positioning for the targets,
okay,
or for the goals, and it was not intended to be climbed on, but there is another pyramid that comes with that that is intended for practicing climbing on, and if it's arranged like it was in Portland, there's an area for practicing climbing and there's an area for shooting. And we try to get the two not to cross-pollinate each other.
Okay. We will, oh, sorry, I think I just did that on screen, didn't I? Sorry about that. Yes. We will see what we can do about getting I believe theirs is actually very well built. I know Soda's is also well built, but I don't know that they're going. Anybody from Soda here? Is Soda going to Ellensburg? I can't remember.
I think they are.
Okay.
Look it up real quick.
I'm looking for Ken. I don't see Ken. Anyway, all right. Anyway, so there we go. All right. With that, it turns out I got exactly like one slide left after this. Thursday, long day. I wouldn't plan on doing too much after Thursday. Friday gets equally long. I'm not going to actually talk a whole lot about Friday and Saturday, mostly because this presentation would go on for way too long if I did that, but I will take this opportunity to show you the public agenda. If you, again, in our webinar notes and links, the public agenda is available there, and you can download this. It's got a nice version of this schedule. Friday, the pits open at 8 a.m. Same thing. The pits open at 8. Opening ceremonies is at 8:30 to 9 at this event. Okay, so there isn't a whole lot of time between arriving and opening ceremonies. Okay, qualification matches. These are the ones where you're earning qualification points. So if you've never done this before, you're going to play 10 times at this event. So your robot will be on the field 10 times. You will be randomly paired with 10 alliances. And then you can check the rules to understand how the qualification points work. But you're earning qualification points all day Friday. Noon to 1 o'clock is lunch. By the way, if you have seniors on your team, and I know many of you do, immediately following the last round before lunch, we're going to get all of the seniors and the seniors only out on the field, and we're going to take a huge group picture. It's kind of a cool picture. We've made it a tradition at Washington First Robotics to do that, and so we'd love to have all of your seniors attend that with us. So it usually takes about 10 minutes, and then we're done. Okay. More qualification matches. We expect to be done around 5:30, 5:45, and then we are notorious, by the way, for getting slightly ahead of schedule. So honestly, we'll try and end actually a little bit early. We only have 50 teams at this event. I think we're probably actually going to be done around 5:20 or so. Okay. The award ceremony, and as soon as the award ceremony is over, your teams are welcome to go take part in the team social. Okay. Saturday, once again, pits open at 8 a.m. Opening ceremonies at 8:30. From 9 to about 12:15, we do the last couple of qualification rounds. At 12:15, we do something called alliance selection. If you're new to this, what happens is that the top 24, the top 8 teams each get to form alliances with 2 other teams, and so 24 teams will go into the final rounds. Okay, so that's done just before lunch. Lunch is from 12:30 to 1:30. 1:30 to 4:30 is the final rounds. If it's in this area that if you wanted to go pack up if you're done for the day and you wanted to go pack up your pits, great time to do that. Even if you're not done for the day, go ahead and go pack up your pits. Anything you do to clean up and get done is greatly appreciated. When it comes down to the final few rounds, we'll probably just tell everybody, hey, come on in and watch. We kind of like to let our volunteers come watch the show. Okay. Arthur, I'm going to unmute you again. Whoops. Hi. I unmuted you. All right. Then we have the award ceremony. Come to the award ceremony. Even if you didn't do good, it's really embarrassing when we're standing there and we're trying to give your team an award and you're not there. It happens at least once or twice every event, and you'd be surprised the teams that get awards. Even if your robot really sucked, a lot of times you're still eligible for some of the awards. So come to the award ceremony, cheer people on, and you might be surprised. Okay. Immediately following the award ceremony, we want you to focus diligently on getting yourself out. And so you're going to pack up and go through the loadout process. Okay, so that is sort of what Friday and Saturday have in store for you. You will have gotten the swing of things pretty good by the end of Friday. Actually, probably by the end of Thursday, you'll have a good feeling for what's going on. Okay. Todd has asked if you have some people traveling 3.5 hours on Saturday, are we guaranteed to see a match on Saturday a.m.? Yes, everybody will play at least 2 rounds on Saturday. And actually, David, in Portland, they got 3 rounds in Saturday, right? Or Michael, do we know anybody? I'm kind of thinking, Todd, that if they get there by 9 a.m., they're likely to see your team play 3 times. Yeah, Terry said yes. So I believe the schedule allows 3. Okay.
Yeah, Portland actually, a few of the teams played on Friday that, what would have been the 7th match. So they only played 2 on Saturday.
And that would just be like 1 or 2 teams did that, right? Should have been.
I would, even if to be safe and sure, call ahead, find out. You should know on Friday what your Friday-Saturday schedules are.
Yeah. Okay. You will not find out what your schedule is until later on on Thursday, and then you'll know what your schedule is for Friday and Saturday. Okay. Okay. I'm close. I'm getting really near the end here. Thank you so much for attending. If you have any questions, you can either email me or you can email Arthur. And if you zip all the way back up to the top of the slides, his email address is there. Arthur's actually in charge of this event. I'm just sort of I'm along for the ride. He's going to know a lot of the local area details. If you're having questions about housing, where to go, where the hotels are, or any of those sorts of things about the local event, Arthur's probably your guy. If you have any questions about how to pass inspection, general rules, or what it is that you need to bring or not bring, or what's going to happen during the day, you're welcome to send me an email. So that's probably a good split between the 2 of us. Okay.
Are you able to get back to that slide with the CWU webpage?
The slide with the CW, oh, yes.
I apologize again for losing you for about 15 minutes.
No worries, no worries. I am looking for the, actually, you know what? It's, all of those links are on this page. So WashingtonFirst.org. If you go to FRC, down at the bottom, webinars, Central Washington Team Briefing, all of the links are here. Here is the information page.
I had also added some to the CWU page today where it says local area food options.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Middle column in red. So
yep.
that'll take you through all the local restaurants in a fairly quick way. The parking map, the campus map, and then down further, team social, the generic schedule, campus housing, lunch order form, and then the CERC waiver form for the students for the free socials. So,
thank you very much. This is a very, very informative page, folks. And yeah, you can get to it. You can get to it off of that. Actually, if you click on the Central Washington regional information page as of this afternoon, it will actually take you to this page rather than to our page. So a lot of good stuff on here. All right. That is about as much information as I think I can shove into your head. So thank you.
At the very bottom of that page.
Yeah.
Is the scholarship link also that coaches and teams might be interested in for future thought.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, so the CWU is offering an excellent scholarship program. They should definitely, your team should definitely check that out. It's a great school. Okay. So we invite you to do that. I know college is expensive, and it's a great option for a lot of students because a lot of you are in state. Okay. With that, thank you all. We'll wrap this up, and we will see you in a little over a week. And good luck with your final 30 pounds. I know I think my team may have finally just left. So, all right. Thank you again, Arthur, and everybody. And good night.